won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome back into Pregaming here on Sports Money. Welcome back. Sorry I couldn't make it on time yesterday. It was right to the wire, it didn't happen. And didn't have time to put things together. So I didn't want to force the hand after a big Friday that we had out there, and we did it live anyhow at the 7:45 live stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Kind of a little bummed, to be honest. I gave out the 42.5 under, and then it closed at 43.5, so I took it again at 43.5, and one pushed. Got the touchdown prop out there, especially live in the second half at 10-1. So that was some fun. Gave you guys the sharp respected betting information as well. So, hey, look, same good stuff, same winning bets, just a different forum to give it to you guys yesterday. So here's what it is. We are where we are. But we got a big card in store tonight. So welcome back. Again, I appreciate you guys joining here. It is Tuesday, December 16th. There is a bowl game tonight. We will be talking about it. And I may make two plays in that game. We'll see. I can't bet college football props in the, I was going to say great state of New York, but in the state of New York. So I only have sides and totals for bowl games, but that's okay. I got a player prop parlay for us tonight. Let's not forget. Wow, this thing's real bouncy, isn't it? Real bouncy today. Let's see if we can straighten that out. Let's not forget that we cashed the player prop parlay on Friday. That was 2 last week. 2 big money bets out there. I think that one was around 6-1. Let me look. It feels like it's been forever because it has been forever. Had a lot of fun stuff going on with the UFC closing out the schedule. We had the Sunday NFL show. We had the Sunday Night Live show. Gave you guys some winning bets over there. This one was 5 plus 579. That was the Mobley 10.5 rebounds. Nurkic over 9.5 rebounds, and Gobert over 9.5 rebounds. So, in any event, we're going to cover a player prop parlay in it. It's a cross sport. I see what's going on. Has it always been bouncy like this? This desk sucks. I got a new desk in play, but not today. We're going to cover quite a bit of NHL hockey. I think there's some really good spots for us to take advantage of here with the Ducks and Jackets, Flyers and Les Habitants, the Montreal Canadiens. The Edmonton Oilers will take on the Pittsburgh Penguins and the matchup we've all been waiting for. We'll talk a little bit about that one. And we'll close up the NHL shop with the Flames and Sharks. We got a big game going on in Las Vegas. Maybe you heard. The NBA Cup's in town, and it is the final between the San Antonio Spurs and the New York Knickerbockers. So we will talk about that game. I've got 2 college games for you guys. Utah, Rio Grande Valley, and Lamar. Lamar seems like a fine fellow. And then Northern Colorado and Texas Tech to bring us into that college football bowl game. The IS4S Veterans Bowl. Troy taking on Jacksonville State. So that's the card we have in store for us tonight, you guys. I hope you're ready to go. I know I sure am ready to go. Feels like YouTube has been shadow banning us. Somebody said muted, but I don't think I'm muted, am I? Can you guys hear me? Blake says mute. Doesn't look like I'm muted. Just hear you now. All right. Well, I don't think I was muted, so I hope that worked out. Anyhow, Friday was a pretty good day. Yeah, the parlay cash for us. And that's what made it a good day, because it was pretty average along the rest of it. But it only takes one big bang to make the bookies pay the price out there. Xavier minus 17.5 cash for us. Indiana Pacers lost. Atlanta Hawks lost. Chicago Bulls won minus 2.5 out there. They won by 3. Got the hooker. We lost to East Tennessee. Spot on the under. Golden State under as well. Blackhawks lost. We cashed to Utah and the over 5.5. Believe that was part of the sharp respected betting action on Friday. Some of you guys have reached out and said, where can you get the sharp respected betting action? You can get it over at Winnable. I'm going to share some of it here with you guys as well. But it's so gold. It's so gold, man. Woo! Cashed again last night on 2 spots. Cashed on Sunday on 2 spots. So, man, it has been on fire here. And they also associate with the NBA and college sports as well. So if you want to bet some college sports early, they just released some college football bowl game style for anybody that is interested. It's a little early for me, but La Tech in Toledo. Toledo's coming up in a week. That one's close. UTSA on the over, Louisville and Delaware on the over, and then USC on the over as well. So that's some early college football bowl game, sharp steam, sharp respected better report. They like to bet them early. They don't care. And then they'll play the middles throughout the bowl season. So let's see what's new with you. We're trying to build these bankrolls. We're trying to get this money. We're trying to grow this community. So we need your guys' help. If you haven't done so already, give that thumbs up button a smash. I want to get to work. We got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of ground to cover. We got a lot of December left in front of us, but can't do anything before you guys smash that thumbs up button. Yes. I told you I haven't been here to talk about it on this particular forum, but told everybody to relax. The Eagles aren't done. The Bills aren't done. Do you know, believe the stat today. I believe the stat I saw today. Nobody's thrown more touchdown passes in the start of their NFL career than Jalen Hurts. I believe that was the stat. I'll have to look at it. Over the course, it's aggregate. Anyhow, 5 for 5, Nick Sirianni making the playoffs. And even some Super Bowl appearances, 2 Super Bowl appearances in that stretch. Patrick Mahomes gets knocked out of that game. Kansas City gets knocked out. And, you know, they laughed the other night at me. I believe that it is our responsibility to connect the dots. And I say ours as, you know, the host of these shows. I'm not going to read you guys what happened then. I'll tell you about some stats. Sure. You want to talk about Josh Allen versus Drake May? Well, guess what? This Drake May Hall of Fame career against the Buffalo Bill himself, Josh Allen, reigning MVP, 19 of 28, 193 yards and 3 passing touchdowns with no picks for Josh Allen. Only 155 passing yards, 0 passing touchdowns, and 1 interception. It is incumbent upon us to share with you guys when teams have the easiest schedules in the league. Because everyone was saying the Patriots were going to beat up the Bills the other day. What makes you think that? You have to look at the DVOA metrics that we've talked about. You have to look at the strength of schedule components that we've talked about. And then they laugh at me when I'm saying, all right, take the Indianapolis Colts. Take the points. Why? Well, because you have to look at these quarterbacks. Are we really downgrading in value just because the name has changed on the back of the jersey? And we cashed. I was talking with Shark about that the other day. We were talking on Sunday. We've cashed now so many contrarian spots where, the quarterback's changed. I mean, it goes back to Marcus Mariota against Miami in, was he London? Can't remember. I know he was across the pond. We cashed on, Jesus, how many of them did we cash on? Joey Burrow when it went to Joe Flacco. We cashed on, let's see. I can't even find it. It's all right. It doesn't matter. Point is, got to look at things differently. And we do have to prognosticate to some degree. So when I said at the start of the year, I thought it was Ravens and Bills, Yeah, somebody ball broke me and said, well, you said it was Penn State hockey and Penn State football. All right. Well, I'm still in the game on 3 out of the 4 of those, dickhead. So anyhow, I believe in making predictions, not just reading statistics. It's the critical thinking. It's connecting the dots that I think is what gives us the edge. Yes, we use tools. Yes, we have technology. And then it's our experience that helps bring all of that together to help make informed betting decisions. And that's what we're here to do tonight. We'll cover college football. We'll cover college hoops. We'll cover the NBA. We'll cover the NHL. And we'll share some thoughts along the way. What do you say out there? Appreciate all you guys joining us. Make sure you smash that thumbs up button. And let's get to work. Get your best bets in the chat. We want to pick up the pace. We got a lot to do. I got a lot to do. And sadly, there won't be any UFC content this week. So it just means we'll work on the infrastructure. We'll be revamping. We'll be evaluating some new programs. We'll be evaluating some new segments. See what you guys have to say about all of that here, because sports money don't stop, man. Rain, sleet, or snow, we stay good to go. Appreciate Trevor Davis being here. Redbeard says, hey, y'all. There's Blake. Nicholas Handy. David247 says, what's the word? Let's go, you guys. Appreciate and the Great being here. Wine Time's in the house. What up, Wine Time? I hope you're doing well, my friend. College bowl season's here. You got to be getting, I don't know, do you get jacked up for college bowl season? I know you're a gunslinger in the college football regular season. Ron Young says, Wine Time's here. Now it's a party. That's right, man. The Futon Bet says Leon Draisaitl, anytime goal. Shout to you, Futon Bets. Dale Fix says, hey, don't call me a dickhead. It wasn't just you, I don't think. I heard it from a couple of guys. And I said, what are you going to do? You want me to tell you to go, when I told you 5-6 weeks ago, Dak Prescott's a POS, right? Oh, he throws a lot of yards. Yeah, but he doesn't win any games. So put the two together. We've seen this guy how many years? And then I saw some Dak Prescott stats. Dak Prescott. Eagles on his watch have won 2 Super Bowls. Bunch of MVPs, all kinds of shit going on out there. Dak Prescott's done nothing. He's gotten injured quite a bit of times as well. So, that's the critical thinking. That's the experience component of the 3-leg stool approach we bring to the table. Leg number 1, tools. We talk about the sharp respected betting report. Leg number 2, technology. We look at things like the trends. We look at things like the cash flow and analytical splits. And 3 is the experience. You put all 3 of those together, it builds you a nice little stool to park your bankroll on and watch it grow. Sports money style. Wine Time says he's excited for the playoffs. I haven't made a bet in the game yet tonight. Jay Peasy's in the house. Jay Peasy, we showed your video last night. I love that idea. I couldn't get it on the screen on time because I was running behind, but I love that idea, man. Love the idea of getting those out there, sharing you guys' bets pregame as well. But let's go. Let's talk about some football. The Dallas Cowboys went 0-3-1 against the NFC North this season. I told you guys, they can't stop a cold. 34 points. Chicago scored. Green Bay puts up 40. Detroit 44. Minnesota 34. Averaging 38 points a game. And people still think Dallas has a chance. Dallas has to win out, and the Eagles have to lose out for that to come to fruition. Stop it. Get some help. JP says it cashed. I know it did. I was on the under. 1 cashed and 1 didn't. 42.5 to 43.5. That's why late betting is great betting. But I was a busy guy yesterday, so I couldn't get that damn information in on time. Feel like there's something else I'm missing out there, huh? Tua, sub 40 degrees. It's a real thing, man. When he gets cold, he don't produce. He stays cold, man. That's something for sure. Was it 24 straight wins for Mike Tomlin on Monday Night Footballs? Wow. No. 24-1. I don't know. Fucking guy wins a lot on Monday Night Football. I know that. Okay, let's get to it. Let's talk about some cash money action here tonight. We got plays to get out there. And the great says, I'm on the Knicks as well. SF Niner says, Knickerbockers. Vrabel will be a wild card. Yeah, New England will be a one and done. They should make the playoffs, and they've got rookie experience. Some people were talking about this. I don't know if you guys saw the leaked script conspiracy with the NFC. They said, the NFL accidentally leaked it on Facebook. And they showed the Packers and the Bears as the teams that were going to the NFC Championship. We'll see, but that's a tall order, especially with all the injuries going on with Green Bay. And then you add to it the Bears have a rookie quarterback as well, or a lack of playoff experience quarterback as well. Jerry Davis, as a Cowboys fan, I called it some 6-7 years ago. Dak is nothing more than Tony Romo Part 2. Neither of them won us. Dude, I said the same damn thing. This guy's just a different version. He's a younger version of Tony Romo. At least Tony Romo's got some personality. I don't watch the Dallas follow-up report, so I don't know what Dak Prescott's like on camera. I said his biggest accomplishment is fleecing Jerry Jones and they giving him hundreds of millions of dollars, even after he got injured. Punt that dude, cut him loose, send him to fucking Vegas. Take some of Vegas's draft picks, send him over there, let him, I said this the other day too. Foolish for a team like the Vegas Raiders to go get Genti when you just don't have any offense. You're going to be behind every game by 17 to 24 points. What are you doing drafting a running back? You can't even use the guy unless you're going to give him a couple years to develop. But by the time they get to 27, the tread falls off the tires. Man, football makes so much sense to me. I feel like we're seeing it really clear, but let's go. Let's talk about some hockey. Why not get into the NHL? And why not talk about the Anaheim Ducks and the Columbus Blue Jackets? With a lot of people that love this Anaheim's Ducks team. And, Cutter Gauthier, as much as I think he's a POS, if you parlayed if you want the POS scumbag parlay of the century, it's Dak Prescott and Cutter Gauthier. Because of what he did for Philly, but you got to respect his talent. It's too bad, man, if he was playing in Philly. Now, look, I like Drysdale. I like the bevy of goods that we got in replacement for him in Philadelphia, but Dan Vladder goes tonight. Jacob Fowler. Last we saw Fowler, he was getting his shit pushed in. 5 goals on 28 shots, which ended up being a 5-4 overtime loss on Saturday. I was on the Habitants. They were up. He sucked, and the Rangers fought back to get the job done. So he's going to go again because they've got injuries to Montembeault, because they've got, look, Dubes is one of them dudes too, but I don't know. It's interesting to me. Started out great, one big opening game, but then because they got to keep facing this guy, forcing him into the net, he's just paying the price right now. Which leads me to think that maybe Montreal plays that defensive effort. Now the Flyers, they are in desperate need for a win here. They've lost 3 straight. I saw somebody post yesterday on Twitter, and they said the Flyers, he predicted the Flyers, and he was like, they're going to wonder why they get to the they're going to wonder why they miss the playoffs again and end up with the 13th or 14th draft pick and don't have any capital to be able to go out there and get better players. And I said, in other words, as I've prognosticated before, they're too stupid to know they should lose. They're 16-9-6 right now. And that's what I mean by it. I think it's like Mike Tomlin with the Steelers. Guy's the 500 coach. You're never going to get good draft picks. You're going to go fucking raid the retirement center like you did this year to go pick up a bunch of players that are past their prime. Because unless you hit a home run on a bottom of the draft order, you're in a bad spot. And unless the team's trading down to get a whole bunch of your draft picks, which makes it even worse, you just don't have enough value to be able to go and get that top tier pick, the guys that make a difference year 1 and year 2 in the season. That being said, Flyers will go to Vladder. And he's had a pretty good year. He's 11-5-3 with a 2.48 goals against average. Comes off a shootout loss. 30 of 32 saves. That was against the Hurricanes. Boy, it's funny because I bet the Flyers and I had the plus 1.5. Plus 1.5 was for a full unit, and then the Canes was the half, or the money line was the half unit. It was like plus 200 or something like that. And I was looking like the next day or the day after that, and I was like, didn't they just play these guys? I feel like they just, and then sure enough, I looked back at the schedule. I was like, well, there's an easy puck line. Sure enough, at a minus 115, I think was the price tag it came through, and they almost won again. So despite those 3 losses, they lost to Carolina, which is a team that has been playing hard defense, I guess is the best way I would describe it. Wearing and tearing you up. And so here they go. Coming into this thing, the Canadians, Well, 4-1 win over the Edmonton Oilers. Ergo, enter the situation that I want to get involved with here, and that is fading this Montreal Canadiens team. Partly, oops, I'm sorry, I'm talking about the wrong game. I got all excited about the Flyers. And then I look back up from my notes. Well, we might as well finish with that game. Since we're here. Canadians are win one, lose one for them. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Flyers in a good spot to get the job done here. I can't believe I did that. I got so excited about the Flyers, and I don't even know where I was going. Sometimes it just goes on autopilot, you guys. But if you fade the La Habitants, if you fade Montreal versus a non-divisional team that's over 500, you are 48-24 because of that inconsistency with the Montreal Canadiens. So we're going to take the Philadelphia Flyers. Where are they? There they are. We're also going to add a player addition, a player prop in this game. Young feller by the name of Christian Dvorak. And you might be saying, who the hell is that? Well, he is a first-line center. He is playing with the best line Philadelphia has to offer. Now, he doesn't play on the special teams. I wish he did play on the special teams. He plays on the penalty kill, I should say. It's not that he doesn't play on special teams. He just doesn't play on the power play, which does kind of suck. But what I like about this young feller is simply put, one, anytime point is plus 140. Gotta like that price tag. Two, when you look at this guy, he's got points in 4 of his last 5 games, and 2 of those games, he's got multiple points. 3, he was playing for the Montreal Canadiens until they wouldn't re-sign him in the offseason, and he became a Philadelphia Flyer. So, Christian Dvorak, top line center, plus 140, anytime point. Let me fix this real quick. Yeah, that's how you spell his name in case anybody's looking for him. And the reason I didn't put these two together as a same gamer, I thought about it, but they're both plus money. So 1 out of 2, we sneak ahead a little bit there, but I feel pretty confident that Dvorak can go out there against his own team in a revenge-minded situation out there for a single individual player that's on the best line in Philadelphia's operation to date. Should be a good opportunity for us to cash a plus 140 price tag. So full unit on each as we get moving. Let's go back to that Columbus game. Boy, what, I fuck everything up? What's going on here? Oh, I know what I did wrong. Sorry, you guys. I'm out of practice. Took off yesterday. My bad. Here's the player prop parlay that I wanted to talk to you guys about. And this is where the problem is going to come into play with. All right. Austin Matthews, 4+ shots on goal. Lindholm, 1+ point. Austin Matthews plays for Toronto. Lindholm plays for Boston Bruins. Then we've got Wembyana, 20+ points in the NBA Cup game. And Barnes, over 1.5 3-pointers for plus 675. Click that one more time, and then we'll talk about it. So Austin Matthews is back. He was hurt. A lot of grief given to this organization about what the heck is going on out there. And he's got a pretty steep price line because he plays in the top line. Blackhawks allow a bunch of goals, 3.5 a game on the road. 33.4 shots per game they allow on the road. So Matthews, 3 goals in his last 6 games, 26 shots over that era, that experience. So he should get the numbers. He's showing the numbers. He's coming back from that injury. He's trying to get into form. They're going to give him plenty of opportunities to shoot the puck against a Connor Bedard-less Chicago Blackhawks. So I like Austin Matthews. Lindholm. Here's a guy that I'm looking at on that Boston side, Elias Lindholm. Why am I looking at this guy? Because Utah gives up a lot of goals. 3.6 expected goals per game over their last 10. So they're not playing very defensive hockey, despite the way that they started out that way. And man, they play hard at home, but this is on the road and in Boston. And Lindholm, much like I talked about with Christian Dvorak, might not be a goal scorer, but plays with Pasternak and Geeky. 2 best guys on the Boston side of things here tonight. Good opportunity for us to take Elias Lindholm to the bank. That's leg number 2. Then we're going to go over to the NBA, and look, it is a big game out there. Wemby, why not? 21 and a half points. So I bought it down to 20 plus. He's got 22 points against the Thunder last game. They showed up. They showed out. And I guess the question is who's going to match up with him against the Knicks, averaging 25.8 points a game on the season. And the Knicks allow 112 and a half. So he should get the minutes. It's a big game for him. Big players show up in big moments, and Wemby is the biggest for the Spurs. And then Harrison Barnes, the over 1.5 threes. This one's been waffling between 1.5, 2.5, and even seeing some 3.5s in the marketplace out there. He had none. He had nada against the OKC Thunder, but 1.5 teases this number down. It's juiced to the ninth because I think it is a bounce back spot for him. He had 4 in 2 games. He shoots 41% from the 3, and he's attempted 4 or more in 8 of his last 9 games. So I like Harrison Barnes to bounce back. A lot of averages show that this guy should, if he came off of a donut, bounce back and fire up. I'll put it on the screen one last time for you guys. Sharp respected betting. Pachico de Gallo. Sharp respected betting. I was going to put a notation in there, but I didn't. But it's a good question. Peter says, Dak is Romo reincarnated. Smoke and Mirrors says, what up? Redbeard says, take it easy on the Cowboys. Mr. Wesker says, pimp slapped. What do you think of the Sooners minus 30? I like the over in that game. It's not an official play for me, but I definitely looked at the over. There were some big trends in that line. Jamie or Oklahoma's team total over. Jerry Davis says, Mikey, I saw this line Monday and it screams Columbus Blue Jackets blowout, but haven't bet it yet. Cody Norton's got the scumbag play of the day. It's in. Scumbag parlay of the day. Utah Mammoth and the Edmonton Oilers and Jacksonville State at plus 500 for scumbag play parlay of the day. Jay Main says second period over in Montreal. Kenny Wood says, I bet the Flyers late last night and got plus 119. AOD says, Mike M. the Machine. Markel says, what up? Riding OG 6 boards tonight. Get the rebound game going there. Let's go, fellas. Let's make some money. All right, let's go back to this Anaheim Ducks game. I fucked this one all up, didn't I? You know what screwed me up is I don't have a slide for the player prop parlay. So I just put the banner up there. But anyhow, I'm on the Columbus Blue Jackets. For me, when I was looking at this one here, I saw that a couple of things. One, Anaheim just played, literally, right? So they're on the second leg of the back-to-back. They're going to Ville Husso. If you don't know who Ville Husso is, it's because he's not very good. He's got a 3.16 goals against average. Jet Greaves will start on the other side. And he's 0-4-3. So I don't know. It's not so much a play on the fact that this dude's due. It's just play on the fact that I think Anaheim's just getting a little bit too much love right now. They're 9-8-1 on the road. So it's, they went on a streak. Can't argue with it. They won 6-8. Then they played the Devils. I mean, this has been a hell of a road trip. Penguins, Islanders, Devils, Rangers. Now that magical 5th game is where we want to get involved in the fade. I don't know. I want to talk to Bo Jackson about how the number 5 lines up in sports, but that very much it does. And so, look, 4-1 beatdown on them New York Rangers, now taken to the road again against this Columbus Blue Jackets team that, for all intent and purpose, a mediocre hockey team right now, in a hell of a cold streak, but they've lost 5 straight games. There's that magical number of 5. And so that seemed like a spot that I wanted to play on because why is this team a favorite? And then you got to find out. Guess what? Tired opponents that play rested favorites. You fade them tired opponents, right? This is that pivotal point around the rest versus non, and it's rust. If you fade the tired opponent, that is the Anaheim Ducks, who are just playing to the point that they are due for a loss. You're 5'11 and 283. That's why the rest factor is such a big point after the quarter-way point of the NHL season. Rest versus non, of course, the fresher legs prevail, especially if that rested team is a favorite. And then go back and look at it and see, shit, Columbus lost 5 straight games. Why are they such a meaty favorite? You're 9-1 in your last 10 if you play in that angle as well. And so I'm going to play on that angle, and I'm going to take the Columbus Blue Jackets. What do you say? JPZ's in the house. He says, do you like Calgary today? We got that game on the docket. And no, I don't. But I'll tell you why. Edmonton Oilers, Pittsburgh Penguins. This is a fun game. So if you didn't know, now you know. This is the goalie battle. These two goalies were traded. Stuart Skinner has been taking a savage beating in Edmonton for the last 3 years. They traded him out of there because he just had to go. It's not his fault that the team doesn't play fucking defense. They just don't play defense. And so he takes a savage beating. And they put him in net to take a savage beating. And the team was flat. And so we've seen Edmonton several times over the last couple of years when this is win now mode for Edmonton, and they keep getting to the finals and losing. Shout out to all the jokers that bet them to win the Stanley Cup as soon as they lost the Stanley Cup last year. But they had to do something. And I don't know that Tristan Jarry is the answer. I mean, and I'm also a little surprised, to be honest. I'm surprised because Pittsburgh's found themselves having a pretty good start to the season. Now, is this one of those situations where they're not too stupid to know they should lose? Evgeny Malkin went down, so they're down a key component of an aging guy that probably will take a little bit longer to recover than not. I don't know. When you look at the goaltending stats, I guess 2.69 goals against for Tristan Jarry, 2.82 goals against for Stuart Skinner, but a 90.8% save percentage for Tristan and 89% for Skinner. Skinner's got 2 shutouts in there as well. So very interesting. They did win. Edmonton did get that spark, and they did pick up a win. They beat up 6-3 the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that's when the Toronto organization imploded. Everyone's pointing fingers at everybody else in that Toronto Maple Leafs organization right now, which sucks because they're playing a Connor Bedard. I'll tell you what, probably a good angle tonight is to consider. I didn't have it on here, and it's nothing official, but now that I'm thinking about it, probably play on the Chicago Blackhawks as a good plus money price tag. Toronto just challenged everybody. The question is going to be, how do they respond to the challenge? They just got nuked by Edmonton. And you got the first game without the star player for the Chicago Blackhawks. So the first game, the star player is out. Everybody else steps up. And it's only, I say only, it's Connor Bedard who's been productive and profitable here. But man, anyhow, I digress. This is the first battle between these two goalies after the trades are done. That's why it's so exciting. And I'm curious to see what happens. Now, I think the average bettor looks at this and says, well, they know each other's weaknesses. True. But so do the goalies. Let's not forget about that. When you've got goalie versus shooter in a shootout, the goalie that used to play with the former player has the advantage because they know the moves that these players make. Now, it doesn't take much to know what move Sidney Crosby's going to make. Puck hog, zig and zag, and try to score a goal from fucking outside the circle because he's too pussy to go inside the slot these days. Right? That being said, I think what happens here is you've got the better, what should be the better of the two teams, right? It's like this year was a bad year for the Kansas City Chiefs. Are they a bad team? I mean, they're aging, but no, they just had a lot of runs at the Stanley Cup champ or the NFL champs. That's the Edmonton Oilers. Back-to-back seasons going all the distance there. They went the distance. They went for speed. And then you got the Pittsburgh Penguins that are old, hurt, tired, and for all intent and purpose, looks like they punted by getting rid of Tristan Jarry. You didn't upgrade with Skinner. You didn't. I just told you the stats. So I expect Edmonton to win this game. I think Joe Public looks at this and says, oh, they know these goalies. They're going to go over. Well, I think the opposite happens. I think you're trying to get these goalies' confidence built. So you play a slower, lower paced game out there. And the under. High scoring total, which is 6.5 versus tired visitors. That is the Edmonton Oilers. You're 9-1 in your last 10. If you zoom out, you're 109-44 over a 153 game sample. Unders correlate to my thought process of trying to establish confidence with these goaltenders. So the way I went about this is I think Edmonton wins the game. I think the under prevails. And I thought, why not parlay these two and take a plus 227 price tag? So we got 4 plus money plays here to kick the card off. And then the last spot on the card for me, we're going to move over to the NHL. What say you guys about that thought? Are you excited to see how these goalies perform in new sweaters? I am. I'm not excited to see Edmonton get better. I'm good with Edmonton. They might as well leave the city. And I've said it before. I'm not reading you the newspaper, but I've said I think that Connor Bedard wins the Stanley Cup with any other team. And I said that 3 years ago. So I could be wrong, but at least I put my nuts on the fucking table. Said, take a look. So anyhow, the Calgary Flames and the San Jose Sharks are the last spot on the card for me in the NHL this evening. I think the Avalanche absolutely take the fucking shovel to the Kraken. Kraken ain't cracking, by the way, if you're looking for some extra play. But at what price tag? So I looked at this 10 p.m. game because I said, I want late action. I see the Flames sitting in here coming off a pretty good run. This Calgary Flames team, they are. 4 of their last 5 games have been wins. But they're not a good road team. And that is why I want to take advantage of the San Jose Sharks. Not just that. They came off a 2-1 win. So got to respect it. Got to understand that they came out there and it was the LA Kings. And that was an under, sharp respected betting under that cashed. But don't look now. Guess who just had 5 straight road games? The San Jose Sharks. And guess what they did in that road series? They went 3-1 their last 4. They dropped the first game to the Stars. They busted up Carolina. 4-1. Busted them up. They lost to Philly. Young, that was the game that we thought the over was going to hit, right? That was the Young versus Young, and they just came out flat. Then they went to Toronto. They beat that Toronto team. Then they went to Pittsburgh. They beat that Penguins team. Partly, by the way, with that Edmonton thought process, Pittsburgh's been fucking collapsing in the second half of games galore. Holy cow. So, couple all that together. And Mr. Weskers, have a full college basketball card, and we're talking NHL. NHL is my best sport. Well, was until baseball. And so we don't care what color the ball is. We want to make money. So we're going to take our strongest edges. When we only have a 2-game NHL card, we'll play some more college basketball. But we have some really strong spots here in the NHL. And yeah, to Redbeard's point, get winnable. I dropped 3 plays out there. All sharp, respected betting analysis for you guys over there. It's 77 cents a day. Can't afford 70 cents a day, you shouldn't play, is what they say. Know what I'm saying? Pick it up what I'm putting down, but I respect you. I appreciate your opinion on there. Just want you to know why I always start off with hockey. Because it's our strongest sport. Statistically, analytically, up until baseball this past season. 152 units in a baseball season is incredible. All 1-unit bets. Last but not least, I think Calgary is, I talked about the 5s. I got to look at the 10s. 9 in a row have been the Calgary Flames against the San Jose Sharks. They already beat them 2-0 this year. It was a physical beatdown game. And so I think it's a bounce back, revenge, home spot, 5s in line, and it's going to be a San Jose Shark spot for me at plus 115. How you say that? Yes, sir. Dave says, bro is tweaking. Who's tweaking? JP says, my first game. Yeah, I think it's the second game off the long road trip that the struggle comes into play. But I get it. I get it. Remember, teams off of the 5-game road trip versus the teams off the 5-game homestands, the team coming back off the road trip wins, right? I don't know. We'll see. Time will tell. Let's go. Let's talk some NBA Cup really quick. Then we'll get to some college hoops. Then we'll put the show on the final notice here with some college basketball. I like this New York Knickerbocker spot tonight. I think, to me, the angle that I looked at with this game was the Spurs just took down OKC. The public's hammering. They saw what they did against OKC. 58% of the bets 67% of the cash on a 2.5, and it hasn't moved all day. In fact, it's juiced the other way. They're making it more attractive to bet the Spurs. Think about that. Then when we have a tight spot like that, we look at the money line and we see 38% of the bets, 58% of the cash on the Spurs. And it went from plus 110 to plus 118. So for me, it's just as simple as this is a letdown spot for this dynamic San Antonio Spurs team here. I mean, there's money on the line. This should be a motivated spot. This should be a good game to watch these guys go out there and fire. Wemby should be the star of the show, the showcase piece here. But, the Knicks took this tournament serious. I was surprised. I had a tough time judging and evaluating the angles and the motivation out there. I thought the Knicks' focus wasn't to win this tournament this year. The Knicks' focus was to go out there and win the championship. But they just keep winning and winning and winning and winning. They took down the NBA Cup favorite Toronto Raptors at Toronto, 117-101. I thought for sure with a game against the Celtics on deck, they were going to tank that game. They took down Orlando. That just continues to beat the shit out of the Miami Heat. The Spurs have had this lengthy road trip. But I think it's the collective exhale. They've spent, 6 straight games on the road? This is only the third. I know it's Vegas. But I think for a Spurs team, you're younger, you got some money in the pocket, them distractions that Las Vegas brings to the table after a collective exhale because you just took down the OKC Thunder is enough for me to want to get involved on the New York Knickerbockers. And let's see, did I have something else to go along with that? Nah. I had it. I must have erased it. Anyhow, let's go to some college hoops. What do you guys say about that game? You guys think it's going to be a good one? The fix is in. Says, look at the third and fourth best players for props tonight. Hope it goes well for everyone. SF Niner says, don't get me talking McEnroe. Dale fixes, will there be a banner hung in MSG? Wouldn't it make sense that they win this tournament and then fuck up in the NBA finals or the NBA playoffs? Timmy Two Shoes says, Josh Hart, couple of threes is fair. He'll flip the switch for the occasion. Timmy Two Shoes, Knicks will be in it for some prison yard ball. And Redbeard likes the Spurs money line. Should be a fun game. At the very least, you can say that it's a meaningful game, and you got really some interesting teams matched up in this thing. Utah Rio Grande Valley taking on Lamar. College hoops. Getting ready to pop off. I got an early game, I got a late game, and I got a 3-pack over at Winnable. If you use the promo code quarterly, the promo code Turkey, TURKEY, over at Winnable. I got 5 NHL plays. I got 3 college basketball plays. I've got, I think I got one more play in there too. Anyhow, quarterly gets you a buy 2, get 1 free 3-month option with me at Sports Money. Hey, it's Mikey Money here, letting you know the Sports Money team is live on Winnable. Come check out our best bets.
For a low monthly cost, you get the very best bets delivered instantly to your phone by text the moment they're locked in. No delays, no missed lines, just the smartest plays at the best odds.
We do the work, you get the plays, and they're sent right to your phone right when we drop them.
Don't wait, don't guess, don't miss the line. Join the winning team today and start cashing tickets with Winnable.
Shout out to everybody that is a member of the Winnable Club there. SF Niner says, fuck the NHL. Don't get me started, you guys. You're looking at the best hockey capper on the planet. Literally. On screen. It's me. Remember they were grinding out 5 units, 10 units. They won, it was a good year. We won 12 units, betting all these draws. And then I came through and I laid a fucking 65-pack on the table. Followed it up with an 80-pack the following season. I mean, those are straight units, single bets, best unit, best damn hockey capper in the planet. Then, on top of it, I accidentally became the best baseball capper on the planet. This spring, who knew? Who knew? March 15th, when the season was starting off, I was going to be the best goddamn baseball capper on the planet. You show me anybody I heard somebody today say they're up 150 units over the last 4 seasons. We put up 152 right here on this show. All 1 unit bets. So, anyhow, I'll talk about how good I am. Don't worry about it. But I'll tell you who's not good. Utah Rio Grande Valley, 0-1 on the conference. Lamar starts off the conference, 0-1 in the conference. I'll give you guys the cash flow. Somebody actually questioned these splits again the other day. I love the conversation about the splits. So like Vegas isn't going to tell you what the splits are. You know what though? Publicly traded companies have to. They cannot create a deceptive buying process if they are a publicly traded company. SOX compliance, SEC requirements. -1.5 has moved to minus, and I know that as a fact, as a guy that used to deal with risk litigation. -1.5 to -3.5, so 61% of the bets and 54% of the cash coming in on Lamar. This total's gone up 4 points, even 5 now. 78% of the bets and 78% of the cash are on the over. Expecting this to be a shootout. And I don't know how. Because this is an under team on the Utah Rio Grande Valley side. 5 straight unders. And they're a win one, lose one squad. Lamar, on the other hand, just got their barn. Well, they got busted up. They were 17.5-point dogs to San Diego State, and they lost by 18. So, yeah, they got busted up, but they scored a lot of points. They hung in there with one of the best teams in the conference. Made a statement out of that thing. And then, if you want to factor in intersecting zeros, we come up with a clear picture of why Lamar should be the one to go to. They're getting the love from the books. Utah Rio Grande Valley's 0-9. ATS when the total is less than 154.5, and they allowed less than 66 points the previous game. That was against Texas Arlington, where they allowed 58 points. Check the box, and when they lose, they're losing by 13 points a game. They're 0-10 when the line's less than 9.5. The total's less than 145. They're losing by 10 points a game. And then you've got Lamar intersects this zero because they're winning. They're 9-0 in the favorite role when the opponent averages more than 31% from 3. In other words, they're over, which is important for this this next game that we're going to talk about. They're overvaluing that 3-point ball. And then you think about it, that team's going on the road. New gym, new sightlines, new rim. So we're going to lay the bucket plus with Lamar. We're going to try to get paid in that spot. -3.5 is the number I got. Should be readily available for everybody out there. And then the last game I got for you guys in college hoops here, the late night spot there. Lots of love for Texas Tech today. And I get it. We'll talk about why. Because it does have to revolve around that 3-point ball that I just mentioned. And look, there's I rapid fire a couple other games for you, Mr. Weskers. I like Canisius getting the 21.5 against Rhode Island. I like Bowling Green laying 21.5 against Chicago State. I like St. John's laying 19.5 against DePaul. I like the over in the Oklahoma spot, specifically the Oklahoma team total over. I like the over in Mississippi Valley State. For an under guy, for me to tell you I like overs, there's got to be something I see there, right? Mississippi Valley State can put points up, so can Tarleton. Tarleton does have a defense. I would probably lean more to the Tarleton team total over in that spot. I think UNC puts the belt to the ass of East Tennessee. East Tennessee just came off a win, too, so you're kind of getting them at a discounted price. And then it comes Northern Colorado and Texas Tech. Number 19, by the way, Texas Tech has opened up at -22.5. It's gone up to 25.5. And you've got everybody betting on the public road dogs. 77% of the bets, 76% of the cash is my assessment on that spot. This total opened at 153.5. It's oscillated. 83% of the bets, 83% of the cash on the over in that spot. And I'll tell you this, and I'll tell you that. Don't be scared to lay them points, man. Lay it and play it, because you've got Northern Colorado road dogs of 3 or more points on a 6 or more game winning streak. Think about it. They're a huge favorite, and they're on a big winning streak. They just roll out 49-80 if they're playing a team that shoots worse than the 3-ball than they do. So I talked a little bit about the valuation of the 3-ball in that Lamar spot. kind of a similar play on that position here tonight, where you've got 49 and 80 because they're overvaluing just how effective that 3-ball is on the Northern Colorado side of things. And guess what? New gym, new rim. So I'd like 24 with Texas Tech. So I like that 24 from Texas Tech. I'm okay with 25 and a half. I mean, you're getting up there a little bit in the price tag, but you could probably still find some 25s. I'd go 25. It's just getting pricey. I mean, it opened at 22 and a half. So keep it in mind as we look for the last game on the card. I'm going to go to some college football. The Crampton Bowl, however, is not the actual name of the bowl. That's the name of the stadium. I always find it fascinating when I've got the time to look at some of the history behind these bowl games. Opened up as a baseball stadium. Opened up as a baseball stadium for none other than the Philadelphia Athletics. How about that? Later to become the Oakland Athletics. Now to become the Las Vegas Athletics. And we got a line that just moved. This line, this is the perfect scenario. I'll tell you the spot that I'm going to add. I'm going to double dip this game. So I was on the under 49 and a half. I believe I gave that out at winnable. Let me check. And I'm going to add Jacksonville State. See, what happened here is the public got in and got stupid. And it doesn't mean that I'm right. It just means that the public may have fucked up. 9 p.m. start, 63% of the bets, 72% of the cash on Jacksonville State. 51.5 has gone down to 48.5. 68% of the bets, 78% of the cash on the over. And so anyways, let me talk to you about this game. Totals come down 49.5, even 48.5 right now. And a couple things you need to know about this game was I was looking at this breakdown. I mean, both teams are sitting at 8-5. Clearly can see that. It's a close spot. So Troy, 70 miles away from Troy, 120 miles away for Jacksonville State. So realistically, going to be a lot of friends and family in the stands. Not necessarily collegiate friends and family, but I think friends and family, maybe, I don't know, should be a good one. There's about 20,000 or so that it should hold. And you do have the second-year coach for Troy now. And they showed some fits to teams like Clemson, but the Clemson game didn't age very well. Clemson's not necessarily the strongest team. They had a 2-game win streak to close off the season. They beat Southern Miss, won the West Division in the Sun Belt, and then went out to Troy, James Madison, and got busted up 31-14. Part of the reason they got busted up, their quarterback, Goose Crowder. I like that name. I don't know why. He got hurt multiple times this season, by the way. So this is the deal. When I say the public might have screwed this up, it was expected earlier that he was going to come back. Well, they made it official, and then the public just started hammering on Troy. Well, the problem you have if you look at Troy is Troy gives up the most sacks in the nation. So if you're giving up a ton of quarterback sacks and you got a quarterback that's soft as a daisy, you're really gambling on this guy being in there the full game. And then the Sharps saw that number dip back to 1.5 and they shot it back up to 3. So I'm going to add Jacksonville on the money line. Actually, I see a minus 2.5. I'll lay the 2.5 for Jacksonville. They do have the edge over this Troy program, 33-28-2. There's a lot of FCS games in that mix, though. So this will be the first time they meet in the FBS. Troy's defense is pretty solid unit, arguably one of the best in the Sun Belt. But Jacksonville State likes to pass, likes to run, likes to dual threat. They'll keep the ball on the ground. This thing will tick away, melting down. Tick, 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 tick. And I think you're in trouble if you're the other side of things here with Troy because you got your quarterback getting busted up. Then on top of that, if you can pass the ball against that ground game, I mean, look, Troy's defense is 10th in the Sun Belt in rushing yards allowed, but their quarterback, Caden Creel, can pass the ball. They also have the turnover advantage. They don't play undisciplined, sloppy ball. They got a +9 turnover advantage against Troy. So I think this quarterback coming in is where we want to zig instead of zag, right? Everyone's thinking, oh, he's going to play, so let's take him. Well, guess what? Kalano Levine, a cornerback, is out for Troy. So that hurts that secondary just a little bit, which is where we know that we're going to see Jacksonville State want to exploit them. Their starting running back, Tay Meadows, out. Starting guard, Patrick Bowling, out. And by the way, starting guard, out for a team that allows the most sacks in the country. Then you add the defensive end, DJ Jackson, out. That's a tough spot for Troy to manage out there. They also got injuries. Elijah Prather, the left tackle, Garner Langlo, the right tackle, Eli Russ, come on. The offensive lineman, come on. Come on. And Jacksonville State, their left guard, he was out the last game anyways. They played that last game tight, though. They lost, sure, but they didn't get beat down. They lost 19-15 to Kennesaw State. They were big dogs. They were up. And they fired off and showed everybody what could happen. It is the first year for that coach as well. So, year one coach, year two coach. I don't know if there's much of an edge on that side of it, but I'm going to take Jacksonville State. I'll lay the 2.5, and I'm going to take the under. And that's the way we're going to put the bow on the show, you guys. That's a 9 p.m. start. I hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoyed this show. I'm looking forward to some fun tonight. It's going to be a fun night of football. Shout out to Ramon Scott. It says Bud is retiring. 42-0. Overweight in every one of them. Shout out to everybody. Appreciate you guys rocking with us. If you haven't done so already, think about checking out Winnable. At least go sign up for the free plays. And we'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Same time, same place, 6 p.m. for pre-gaming. Get that cash. Mr. Whiskers, appreciate you, my dude. Appreciate Peter Gracia. All you guys, Stop Geoengineering. Redbeard, Arthur Mead, Ramon Scott's been running so hot. David 247, Jake Peasy. Good luck to all you guys here tonight. SF Niner doesn't like the NHL, but he likes sports money, and that's what we like about SF Niner. Jerry Davis checking in here. Timmy Tushu. The Fix is in. Appreciate everybody, man. Dale Fick. Have a great night, everybody. I'll see you guys back here tomorrow. Good